So, welcome once again to the Go Champions League, Virtus.Pro against CPH Wolves. The second map, dust2, is coming up. The first one went 16-10 in favor of Virtus.Pro. And CPH Wolves definitely showed that they are capable of putting up a fight. And luckily for them, they lost a few crucial rounds, and that broke their momentum, it broke their economy, and they couldn't get back on the board anymore. Now it is their chance. The knife round, of course, is not too important on dust2. You could argue if it's a terrorist or CT-sided map. It just depends on which teams play each other. And as you can see, we're still not live. We're just waiting for the ready signal of the two teams. And after this one, it will be Property against Dignitas in another best of 2 series. If you're wondering what is up with that best of 2, I wondered as well, but when you get explained, it kind of makes sense. It is more or less 2 separate best of 1s played right after each other, and they both utilize one map veto process. So we see different maps in the 2 best of 1s, and both of the best of 1s is worth 1 point. Of course, there can be a draw. If Virtus.Pro lose this map, CPH Wolves will get their fair share of the 2 points that get awarded in the best of 2 series. Virtus.Pro already got themselves the first point in this matchup, and they took down Penta last week with a 16-10 win on Overpass and a 21-15 on Cobble. Cobble was a real struggle for the Polish side, and they are still a little bit shaky, even though they are not in the slump anymore. They are getting into shape for Katowice, which will start in a few days, basically. I believe on Friday. So SMF with the first knife frag. Well, Asilian seems to be AFK for a second. Team knife in the knife round. Well, you could argue how strategic a knife round should be approached by the teams. Probably not so strategic on dust2, but on maps like Nuke, Cache, even Inferno, you see teams go all the way with the knife rounds. This time it was more or less a fun knife round. CPH Wolves came out on top of that, and they want to stay on the CT side. Virtus.Pro with the harder start in this one, and they had the harder start, the supposedly harder start into Inferno as well. In the end, they came out on top of the first half with a 9-6 scoreline on Inferno. No, not even 9-6, it was, well, 9-6 in my head. What the hell? It was a halftime score of 12-3, I believe. Now let's go into dust2 as Snappy gets himself the first one on a long push by Virtus.Pro. They go all in on the long A push. Snappy with the elevator for his teammate to push him up into the A platform. It's a 3v4 situation. Virtus.Pro still have a Tech 9, so watch out for that weapon in Pasha's hands, but they are low on HP, and Snappy almost catches the bomb carrier on his cross to the A bomb site. Now MSL disposes of him with a nade. Pasha with a nade of himself. It's a 2v3. Now Pasha goes down, and it's Bialy behind the smoke to hold on to what is left of that squad. That is only himself and his 10 HP against the 3 CTs. MSL and Hunden still on full HP. Now Bialy is down to 5. He was kind of hit by a ricochet bullet. And now MSL with his 3rd frag, making it 1-0. CPH Wolves off to a good start into dust2, making it look so easy on the pistol round. But Virtus.Pro went for a 5-man a long push against USP. They definitely expected the Tech 9 to do the damage, but it wasn't the case. Snappy got himself the first headshot to kind of stall the push. Then he got himself a second frag on top of that. Now Virtus.Pro on that upgraded pistol save. Deagle for Bialy, Tech 9 for Taz, a Scout for Pasha, and P250s for the rest, Snacks and Neo. Copenhagen Wolves on the other side, they have 3 FAMASs and 2 M4s. So once again, Copenhagen Wolves don't want to risk anything. They go for the full buy. Whatever they can afford will be purchased. Hunden now behind that box, catches a bullet down to 50 HP. Pasha will dispose of him with a Scout. Great pressure play by Virtus.Pro, just keeping him under fire and not allowing him to peek out without being taken out. Now MSL needs to work his magic. He gets himself 2 frags. Then he goes down to Bialy. Taz with the refrag in middle. Well, it's not actually a refrag, but it was the frag that made the round look so good for Terrorists, as Taz gets himself another frag onto Snappy, ambushing him in middle. He's up on another fight, and SMF will go down. It's 1-1, thanks to 3 frags by the Tasmanian Devil, as he is called as well. 1-1, Virtus.Pro turn the momentum around. They forced CTs on a save, and maybe Copenhagen Wolves have played it a little bit too basic for the Polish side. MSL now catches the first Scout bullet down to 17 HP he is. And on the rotation or on the way to the B bomb set, of course, he gets caught off guard by Bialy, then going down to the AK headshot, but the Cillian with the refrag onto Taz on a long, capturing the rifle as well. But Pasha still has that Scout, and he will wreak havoc with it. A headshot onto Snappy on the A platform. Bialy takes out SMF on long. It's a 4v2 situation, and the Cillian wants to hold on to that rifle for the next round. Of course, Hunden can save his CZ75 and the nades that he has gathered. So the CTs are out of the round already. Hunden just tries to line up that exit frag against Bialy, who is coming his way. Let's see if Bialy will actually go forth. Hunden has spotted him with the footsteps. Neo took out a Cillian in the meantime. Now Hunden picks up that AK. As the Cillian goes down, Hunden picks that rifle up that basically got dropped for him there by Bialy. And he will hold on to it as well. But it's a 2v1 scoreline in favor of Virtus.Pro. The Polish side now picking up the pace on the first half. And of course, they are on the terrorist side. Now, is that now a terrorist-sided map or a CT-sided map is the question. For the dust2, it is hanging in between. It is a 50-50 map, and Hunden goes down thanks to a great flash by Virtus.Pro. A Cillian takes out Taz, but it's a 3v2 already. Make that a 1v3 in favor of the terrorists. The Cillian is the only one with that AK on short. He's cramped in between the terrorists. He's getting naded and Molotov from each direction. Pasha will put him out of his misery in the end and make it 3-1. Virtus.Pro with that second round, and then the more or less basic job that they are supposed to do without losing too many players in the process. They took the 2 save rounds. Now the CT's back on weapons, but Pasha on the AWP, and he already showed off his skills on Inferno, and the Scout was definitely a weapon to fear in his hands in the first few rounds on dust2. Now Virtus.Pro with the basic build-up to a B split, it looks like, but they can still turn around and make it happen on A short. Going in for the first peaks are the teammates of Pasha, and Hunden gets himself the first frag onto Snacks in B tunnels. The terrorists on a rotation over there. They have control over middle, but they still don't have the entry on the B bomb site, as Pasha and MSL trade frags on different ends of the B entrance. Bialy slices through MSL as he's trying to get out into somewhat coverage on the B bomb side. He was cramped in between the terrorists. He knew that. He tried to get into a different position and caught off guard. 3v2 situation now in favor of the CTs. The bomb is planted. Bialy has the door. Pasha covers the hole in the wall, and Bialy takes his chance. He goes down to his Cillian. It's a 1v3 situation. Pasha drops his AWP, picks up that M4, but he's blinded and deaf, and he's getting backstabbed by Snappy in the end. Copenhagen Wolves with the first real rifle round on the board, and they saved that AWP, and even though it was getting close, they had everything under control. 3-2 in favor of Virtus.Pro, but Copenhagen Wolves are getting closer, and they can't let Virtus.Pro run away like they did on Inferno. Now Pasha just narrowly missing that first shot on the B crosser. He's angry, knifing those boxes in Death Alley. Copenhagen Wolves with a 3-2 split. Basically, it is 1 in middle, 1 at B, and 3 at A. Now Asilian gets dragged towards middle to help MSL hold on to middle. Of course, one of the best spots to make something happen for the terrorists. They can capture that part of the map rather easily with that smoke on CT spawn. They force the CTs to make a move, and then they can try to catch them off guard. Now Virtus.Pro tries to force the CTs to think that it's going to be a B split, but they are still not committed to that. And Asilian will spot himself the first frag. He gets it as well, but Taz with a quick reply makes it a 4v4 again. Neo's down to 41 HP, and the terrorists on the way to the A-bomb site. In the meantime, SMF has snuck in behind their lines, and he's now on the backstab movement, facing it off with Snacks, and he gets himself the frag as well. In the meantime, Taz cleans up the A-bomb site, and Copenhagen Wolves in a 3v3 retake situation against 3 terrorists, and they're coming from every single direction. One from CT spawn, one from short, and one from A long. And it might not be the best approach to take, as Virtus.Pro is now questioning themselves. Bialy helps his teammates stay alive with that headshot onto Hunden, but in the meantime MSL got around the A-bomb site. He's on the platform already. He puts down 2 with 1 shot basically. Bialy and Neo go down. Now it's Taz against 2 CTs. He puts down SMF to 13 HP, and now he just needs to hold on. He just needs to play the bomb, and he does it perfectly, just like a pro does. 4 kills for Taz, winning that round for Virtus.Pro. But MSL was so close in getting it done for Copenhagen Wolves. Virtus.Pro are lucky to have Taz around, who kept himself nicely positioned in that 2v1 situation, and he didn't overextend. He didn't go in for that, well, let's take both out in the same manner. He kept himself back, and like that he won the round. Now he's opening up on the B-bomb side. He just finished off winning on the A-bomb side. Taz is just unstoppable right now. 5v4 situation in the anti-eco. MSL desperate to get himself a frag on the board, but he's already spotted, and now it's Bialy covering his teammates while the bomb goes down. The CTs try to line up a few exit frags. There is one, but Pasha with an easy frag will make it a 2v5. SMF tries to bait some terrorists into pushing him. He has his teammate Snappy close by on the doors in middle, but Pasha will take control of that, and that is Virtus.Pro's team play. SMF didn't even realize that Pasha was coming from behind, and something really nice to see that Virtus.Pro stayed here with 2 of their players until Pasha came around and cleared middle for them, so they could exit into CT spawn. Really good team play by Virtus.Pro. The basic stuff, it's hard to play that basic stuff if you're up against an anti-eco round. Sometimes you get sloppy in those moments, but look at Pasha once again tagging MSL on the cross to the B bomb site, making him hurt and making him hink a little bit with 18 HP. Virtus.Pro with 3 rounds in between them, and Copenhagen Wolves, they look very strong right now on the terrorist sides. They did very well on Inferno. Now the Poles will take the A-bomb site together. The CTs already rolled out the red carpet for them. They let them capture that uncontestedly. They're just trying to get some exit frags on short, maybe even from CT spawn, but CT spawn got spotted already, and he will be disposed of by Neo. Taz with a nice and easy spray. Another one for Taz before he goes down to Hunden's P250. At least 1 rifle removed. And Hunden gets himself a second one. Great work by him. Asilian goes to work onto Neo. Suddenly it's a 2v2. And if the CTs had a little more time and Virtus.Pro would have played that decently, it could have been really nice to see that, but of course, Virtus.Pro, as I said before, sometimes it's hard to keep track of the basic things if you're up against an anti-eco round. And, well, Virtus.Pro proved that Even though they did so good in the previous anti-eco round, this time they were a little bit sloppy. But Hunden, of course, had a very good P250 in his hands there. 6-2, next rifle round ahead of us. Snappy with the AWP, he did a good job with that on Inferno. And Copenhagen Wolves definitely need him to do it again against Virtus.Pro, and they need to stop the roll that the Poles are on right now. The Danish squad decided to start on the CT side, so it was their choice. And they expected to be better than that, I guess. Now this is the round for Copenhagen Wolves. If they give that away, Virtus.Pro will be up 7-2 and are basically about to win that first half. Now SMF and Biali with a quick trade on a long. Still no round gathered for Virtus.Pro. Still no real control gain for them as Snappy replenishes control over A long. He gets flashed out by a Zillion. Good teamwork by them to make it a 3v4 situation. Now Virtus.Pro is stuck on A long. MSL goes to work on the snacks in middle. He's a good smoke frag there for him, making it a 2v4, leaving Neo and Taz, the long-term squad members, the long-term teammates, together against 4 angry Danes who are trying to get themselves back into the game. Hunden now retreats into the deeper parts of B tunnels. MSL lines up the shot onto Neo. Good teamwork there. If Neo could have, or if Neo took out MSL, Hunden would have been around the corner. And now it's Taz against 4 CTs with 6 seconds on the clock. He can't even plant the bomb anymore, and I doubt that he will magically burn 4 CTs in a second as Zillion takes him out. Makes it 6-3. Good work by Copenhagen Wolves on a long there. They had that cheeky aggressive move, and then it was Snappy over here to take out the terrorists as they were trying to gather some information and take control of the pit area. And that, of course, is crucial for the CTs to get those refrags. If they can't get themselves the number advantage, they at least need to get the refrags. Otherwise, it all turns south for them. Now, MSL once again pushing through the smoke. He spots a barrel of Taz and he takes him out instantly. 4v5 situation. MSL even gets out there alive without even losing a single HP. Now, Virtus.Pro a little bit angry on the outcome of this turn of events. 1 minute on the clock. It's still a lot to work with. They try to dispose of MSL with their tower. Let's take a look at Pasha. He's spotting into the back part of middle, right where the hole in the wall is. But there's no CT action around that, as Copenhagen Wolves are just holding their basic positions. They give middle to the terrorists, actually. And Virtus.Pro utilize that to gain some information and to make the push over at the A short approach. They get themselves the opening frag on there as well, putting down a Zillion, making it a 4v4. Now Neo is sent back to take control of the back as the bomb gets planted. 4v4 retake situation. Something is going to be very hard for the CTs, especially as Pasha puts down MSL. Now Pasha gets refragged by Hunden, but it's still a very defensive setup by the CTs. They are not hurrying up. They are very slow to approach the A bomb site. And there is SMF with another frag onto his snacks as Biali and Neo cover the A platform. Oh, Neo with 2 shots onto Snappy and Hunden. And then Biali takes out SMF. Virtus.Pro win that round thanks to Neo's great effort on the A long. 7-3 now in favor of the Poles. Copenhagen Wolves looked so good with the early frag in the round, but then Virtus opened up on the A bomb site and it was the wrong positioning for Copenhagen Wolves. They had 2 players way down on A long in the pit. As Snappy with an aggressive move onto Neo puts him down straight away. And a Tech 9 for Taz. The economy is not looking too strong for either of the 2 teams. A CSAT 75 for SMF and a FAMAS for Zillion. As MSL loses the majority of his HP, he's sent back to the B bomb site to help Hunden hold on to that part of the map. As Zillion blows up Taz in short. And the CTs are up 2 people now, without even spotting too many of them. Now is Zillion under fire. No, actually it's Snappy under fire. over at the A bomb site. He barely got missed by Pasha in the pit. And now Snappy tries to take a peek into the pit. He thinks that Pasha is going for the duel, but look at Pasha. He's just pushing through the smoke. Oh, rings off another shot. Now Snappy knows where Pasha is, but it's too late for him. He's got a bullet in between his eyes already, but MSL and Asilian do the same to his teammates as it's a 1v4 situation. The bomb is dropped and Pasha will be pushed from behind by MSL. 7-4. Now Copenhagen Wolves jump right back on the back of Virtus.Pro, and they don't let them run away, forcing them to save as well. Probably will allow the Danish squad to string together 2 rounds in a row and make it 7-5. Now let's see if that will actually happen, or if Virtus.Pro have something special in their sleeves with those P250s. They can definitely take out a few CTs, and if they get their hands onto a few weapons, it could turn south for the CTs really quickly. The Poles are taking it slow in middle. They are all gathered up. They are trying to at least get a few refrags if the CTs should be as so silly to get aggressive. And now Virtus with that middle setup. They smoke off into CT spawn, try to force the CTs to reposition themselves, and at the same time they will push forward into a short as MSL gets himself the frag. Let's see where he's at. MSL gets himself another one, but at the same time Asilian goes down on the A bomb site. Snappy is now alone against 2 terrorists who are trying to storm him and just overwhelm him. At the same time, the CT's on the rotation already. Snappy with the first, then goes down to Bialy, who's trying to put down the bomb, at least get the money in the bank for the terrorists, and he does it before he gets disposed of by MSL. 3 kills for him, and a pretty successful anti-eco round for Virtus.Pro. Or, well, not anti-eco, but eco round for Virtus.Pro. They took down 2 CTs and they planted the bomb, so that's additional money for them and a chance to buy up and get another rifle round going. Now Pasha on the B bomb site. He smoked off. He needs to wait until the smoke clears to make it happen, and Hunden will be in his sights. Hunden is the guy to always peek into B tunnels, and it's a risky position to take, especially against an AWP player like Pasha. And now the CTs get flashed. The execution into the middle is happening. Snappy missing 2 crucial shots. Snacks and Taz will get the first frags in favor of the terrorists. Hunden fights back, but he's taken out by Snacks, and Bialy puts down SMF on the other side of the map. It is Asilian, the last man standing for the CTs, and he's cramped in. Quick click by Bialy. Great shot by him. 8-5. Virtus.Pro back on track. And this time it is the CTs that need to save or drop for each other. They decided to buy 1 rifle, 2 rifles, 3 rifles, and 2 pistols. It is the second last round of this first half in the second map after all. And Virtus.Pro is once again looking good on the terrorist side. As the Danes with those 3 rifles, let's see where they put them. Snappy is over at short, MSL is over at middle, and SMF is over at the A bomb site. So it's the B bomb site is the weakest spot right now, but Virtus.Pro decides to attack the A bomb site. SMF with the first, and Snacks with a good reaction against MSL, but he's swamped by CTs from above. Asilian will take him out with a CZ75, makes it a 3v3 situation as the bomb gets planted. Copenhagen Wolves on the rotation. They are coming from short, and Taz already has that part covered with his AK. Headshot for Snappy. Asilian answers with his rifle, makes it a 2v2. The CTs need to retake, or well, it would be weird to purchase that many rifles and then not go for the retake in a 2v2 situation. And a smoke off Pasha. Neo's firing a few shots through the smoke as Pasha mortars Asilian on the bomb site. Neo takes out Hunden. It was a good attempt by Copenhagen Wolves. They smoked off the bomb, and unluckily for them, Pasha had a mortar for them. He launched his rocket straight on the A platform and made it 9-5 together with Neo. And there it is, double AWP for the terrorists. No, actually triple AWP in the last round of this first half. And it pays off with the first frag, a second one courtesy of Taz as Bialy moved into the B bomb site uncontestedly. Rings off a few shots and finds his headshot onto Hunden, makes it a 2v4. SMF and the Cillian trying to fight back. A Cillian with the second frag already with that rifle that he picked up. Virtus.Pro still one man to the good compared to the CTs, but the Cillian is coming in from the tunnels. He doesn't even slow down a single second. SMF has picked up an AWP. It's a 2v2 situation, and there is Bialy with that spray against SMF. A Cillian is now caught in a crossfire, one from B tunnels, one from B main, and Bialy will jump on his head and put a bullet through his body to make it 10-5. And it was a great effort by Copenhagen Wolves on the CT side, but it was not going to happen for them. 17 frags for Bialy, 15 for Taz, and on the other side we have 16 for MSL and 15 for a Cillian. Virtus.Pro now on the terrorist side, and Virtus.Pro now on the CT side, and Copenhagen Wolves on the terrors. The Danes definitely need to win this piss round if they want to stay alive in the game, and they are going for the same strategy that Virtus.Pro went for in the piss round, but Virtus.Pro definitely doesn't have the right setup for that. But wow, look at Snacks! 2 frags for him, taking out MSL and SMF. Taz helps him out a little bit. 4v2 situation, and the smoke is way too late. The terrorists didn't use the smoke until all of their members were killed in action. Snappy goes down to Neo, and it's Hunden to plant the bomb and fight off 4 CTs, but Snacks won't let it happen. With a jumping headshot, he takes him out and makes it 11-5. Snacks in CT spawn, and the smoke was way too late for the terrorists. They just sent 3 people across without smoke, even though they had it. I wonder why they didn't use it before. And it definitely could have helped them, if not saved them the round. Now the Poles in the driving seat, they go for all the rifles that they can purchase and not going for 2 MP7s and something like that. They go for the M4s and the FAMAS, except for 1 MP7 in the hands of Neo. Copenhagen Wolves with that AK in the hands of a Cillian. And a few Tech 9s for the rest of the squad. They get the first frag onto Snacks. Another one by Hunden through the smoke onto Bialy. Oh, and Taz is down to 4 HP. Snacks is raging in chat. Nerf the Tech 9 for Christ's sakes. But Neo with an MP7 goes to work. And it's a desperate fight in middle for the bomb. The CTs come out on the receiving end. And the Cillian takes out Neo to finish it off. And what a round that was by Copenhagen Wolves with a Tech 9 smoke shot. Courtesy of the terrorists onto short. Definitely made the CT stumble a little bit and slow down on the more or less control of the bomb in middle. As a bomb was dropped in middle, the CTs tried to get their man over there. And now it Snacks with that. No, but he's not getting it though. MSL takes him out with that AK in lower B tunnels. Now it's a 4v5 early on. Snappy actually took that shotgun. The 2 scouts in the hands of the CTs need to find themselves some targets. But they are flashed off. Snappy with a swift Tech 9 frag onto Taz. Pasha tries to fight his way out of that with his pistol and the scout. He retreats. Then Bialy takes the attention away from middle and allows Pasha to regain control of that. But Bialy gets killed for doing that and allowing Pasha to take a quick peek into middle. He missed his shot anyway. And it's a 2v5 situation. Now Pasha and Neo once again. They made it happen already. But this time the odds are a little harder for them. MSL with a headshot onto Pasha. Neo still takes him out with a scout. And SMF spots him. SMF really eager to get that frag onto Neo, who saved himself an AK or is about to save that. And he will be taken out by Hunden. 7-11. Copenhagen Wolves once again on a roll. Just like they were on Inferno. This time they can't let loose of the gas pedal. The Danes in that anti-eco round against Virtus.Pro. Really weak setup by the Poles. Only P250s and 1 Deagle for Neo. And Snappy with that AWP. Well, he spotted 1 CT, didn't shoot though. So at least he didn't miss, I guess, but he didn't take the CT down either. Now Virtus.Pro gets naded in middle. Oh my god, look at the mortar artillery like HE grenade flying in there, just doing minor damage to the CTs, but SMF carries his AK to do the job. Takes one out, then Asilian gets refragged by Bialy. It's a 3v4 situation. And the CT is still trying to get a few more frags in middle. I wonder why the terrorists actually push forward one by one, allowing Pasha to take out MSL. It's a 3v3 now, and Pasha got himself the AK. He could do some damage with that, or just save it, and well, he gets taken out by the Tech 9 of Snappy. Neo with that headshot onto Snappy. Now he gets himself another headshot onto Hunden. Neo with that eagle, but he gets disposed of by SMF in the end. It's a 1v1 situation. Taz with a decent chance. He picks up the P250, and he's got a rifle just out of reach in front of him. SMF with that fake plant, and great play by SMF to draw Taz out. And he will save the AWP on top of everything. But what a save round by Virtus.Pro. It was all turmoil until Copenhagen Wolves sent in people into middle and repeatedly got taken out. Pasha got himself the frag over there, got himself a rifle as well. Now he got himself the frag with the AWP. Good job against Snappy, making it 5v4 and turning the momentum into his favor and into his teammates' favor. But Hunden inches forward, gets himself the kill onto the scope. Well, how did Pasha not hit or not shoot in this situation? As Virtus.Pro now down in an equal situation, 4v4. They push one into the A platform area as Copenhagen Wolves still has massive amount of time to work with. Hunden has pit under control, so he has eyes on A long. And the Copenhagen Wolves will gather to attack A short. Bialy with a desperate spray attempt. He gets himself 2 headshots onto MSL and the Asilian. Hunden fights back onto Snacks. It's a 2v2 situation and the terrorists need to... Well, they don't actually need to re-rotate, but they just need to plant the bomb right now, right here on the A platform against Bialy and Neo. Bialy already did a very good job holding on to short against 2 with that M4A1. Now he's got his teammate to work with. And he's smoked off, at least Neo is smoked off. Bialy inches forward, Hunden with that AWP. He hits his shot as well. Neo is now on the platform already. He wants to get that frag. He flashes out. He gets himself the kill onto SMF. Now he's in a 1v1 situation. He tries to flash Hunden off. Tries to go for the kill. Hunden hides away with his 3 frags. It's his round. It's his time to shine. And Neo realizes that Hunden will not miss that shot and save his weapon. Copenhagen Wolves with another round on the board, not letting Virtus.Pro get too much space between them and their opponents. What a nice match that is on dust2. Good to watch, great frags by both teams. And now the Danes in the driving seat. They can close the gap to only 1 more round, and Snappy with the opening shot onto Neo weakens the B bomb site defense. Copenhagen Wolves instantly try to capitalize on that with 3 players in lower tunnels. They can't find the frag onto short though. And Pasha with a jumping shot goes for the cheeky headshot, but doesn't happen for him. Snappy still working his way forward with that AWP in hand, supported by Hunden. And the terrorists about to attack the B bomb site where Snacks with that only rifle in his hands. He's standing there with 25 HP defuse kit, but it won't actually help him take down anyone on the B bomb site. He's forced away, he retreats, and that's heads up play by Snacks to not make a stupid move, stay inside the B bomb site, be the hero or something like that. He rather pulls out and keeps his team the rifle for the next round. Now Copenhagen Wolves just firing off a few shots inside the B bomb set to keep the CTs from pushing in there. And as the bomb will tick down, Virtus.Pro's chances of making anything happen are getting slimmer and slimmer, and they will actually get out of the bomb site. Taz just so eager to get anything there. Cheeky move, but SMF had him covered. 10-11 the scoreline. Copenhagen Wolves with a 5-round streak in the second half. And they just did the same that the CTs did to them with that Tech 9 and AK buy round by Copenhagen Wolves. It was really nice to see both teams come out on top of the second round. And it just makes the game so much more unpredictable. And that's of course what makes us enjoy this game. As Bialy now on the aggressive move onto short, onto catwalk. He gets himself the first, rings up the second, but Snappy stays alive, then gets killed by Taz. Taz works his magic on the second one as Copenhagen Wolves try to repay the favor with a frag in lower B tunnels, but MSL is down to 6 HP already. Taz picks up the AWP, and what a great play by Bialy and Taz to win that round for Virtus.Pro. Really good play by the Poles to make it happen with their 2-man special squad inching forward into a catwalk and then taking down the terrorists over here. Bialy with the first, then Taz capitalized on all the fuss that his teammate created, and he got himself 2 frags. Then he picked up the AWP to get himself the 3rd frag even, and Virtus.Pro are back on track, 12-10. Copenhagen Wolves still have enough money to buy up, and they put another AWP in the hands of Snappy. He's doing quite some work for the Wolves, and they trust him a lot right now. Pasha on the move. He gets himself the headshot onto Hanem, but Snappy replies instantly. The trust was not betrayed by the youngster, as he got himself an important frag on the A bomb site. Snappy now is blinded. The CT's pushed through, but Snappy once again gets a refrag as Taz puts down MSL. It's a 3v3 situation. Neo with a very nice frag onto Asilian. Snacks down to 51 HP. It's a 2v3 situation. The CT's on the move. They need to, or they want to win that round as SMF blows up Snacks. The bomb is still not planted. The CTs know where the bomb is, however. And Bialy is right around the corner. Get a good move there, taking out Snappy straight away, firing off against SMF and getting that kill as well. 13-10. Virtus.Pro hangs on to that round, and they fight their way back even though the odds were not looking too good. What an effort by Snappy, however, on the terrorist side, taking out 2 in the round. And then unluckily for him, his teammates were not able to turn that 2 frags into a round win. So Neo's asking for a pause. The pings are looking good, so it must be something else. As we have 23 frags for Bialy, 20 frags for Taz, 20 on MSL and 18 for Asilian. So Copenhagen Wolves back in a desperate economical situation. Tech 9s across the board. They made it happen once, but it was against a weak buy by the CTs in the second round of this half. Now they are up against real rifles. 2 AWPs for Pasha and Neo. And actually 3 AWPs. 2 of them got saved from the previous round. Virtus.Pro going for the all-scope setup. Let's see what they are able to achieve with that against the Tech 9/Galil round by the terrorists. 1 AWP with the aggressive setup. Bialy gets a headshot onto MSL as the attention gets dragged away towards middle by Pasha. Pasha with another frag. And the AWPs seem to work in favor of Virtus.Pro. Taz with easy 2 frags there. Snappy and SMF go down. Asilian is the last man standing for the terrorists, and he's pushed by... Well, not pushed, as he avoids the push. The CTs were about to make their move up into middle. Asilian is now on the way to the A bomb site, and he will reveal his position thanks to those flash grenades. And everybody will have his eyes peeled down onto that road. Snacks with that easy frag. 14-10. Copenhagen Wolves once again had a really good chance to get back onto this game. They could have drawn the game as well. But suddenly, the Poles of Virtus.Pro jump onto them. They jump onto the motorcycle and they just ride it away. The comeback horse of Copenhagen Wolves is not fast enough right now. Maybe they can speed it up a little bit. And they try to speed it up indeed with a push into A long with 5 players over there. 4 Tech-9s and a Galil. Pasha, Bialy rack up the frags. 2v5 situation. Pasha with another one. Snappy now with the Galil firing away. But Taz is already behind him, and it's a 15-10 scoreline in favor of Virtus.Pro. 5 match points. Copenhagen Wolves with those 4-man Tech-9 setups and the Galil to have some additional firepower. Didn't quite work out, even though they went for the balls out A push. Now Virtus.Pro with the balls out middle push. Taz on the prowl. Taz with the first, then he goes down to Snappy. 4v4 situation. Neo in middle. No, it's not Neo. It's Pasha in middle. Scoping up into B tunnels. Let's see if they walk into him. Oh, big lag. Nobody is standing anymore. 2v1 situation. The bomb is on the B bomb site. And Bialy and Neo on the retake. One from tunnels, one from window. They couldn't have hoped for a better setup for that. But SMF takes the single 1v1 situations. He puts down Neo, steps into the flames and takes out Bialy as well. Great effort. SMF with 4 frags in the round. Making it 15-11. And what a 2v1 situation that was by the Dane. Keeping his squad alive in this matchup, trying to fight for their first point in the Go Champions League. Of course, if you have won it, I am Debut from Germany, and this is another 3 AWP setup by Virtus.Pro. They are swimming in money, just like, well, I don't know how he's called, but in German it's Dagobert Duck. And he's Pasha now swimming with his biceps, getting 2 frags onto SMF and Snappy. Looking good for Virtus.Pro, especially as Taz at a good position, but Hunden still gets out on top of him. Captures A long, forces the rotation on the CTs. And Neo has a crossfire. Pasha takes out his third. It's a 2v4 situation. Neo covers his back and makes it 1v4. Asilian, the last man standing for the Danes. He gets himself the first one onto Bialy, then misses a crucial shot on the A platform. Could have made it a 2v1 right there, right then. But now he's up against 2 CTs, and Pasha will win it for Virtus.Pro 16-11. And, well, that was a really good effort by Copenhagen Wolves in the beginning of the second half, but they couldn't pull through. So this was this matchup, but we will move on to the next one straight away.